Hello and welcome to the Channel 83 News. I'm your host, Strong Manley. Tonight's top story, do you know what day it is today? Do you? Well, it's definitely not Thursday, February 21st, if that's what you think. It's in fact World History Day. And, because I know this and the man doesn't want you to know, we're gonna have a little chat with an old friend of mine, Rufus. Rufus, thanks for being on the show today.
I'm already on the show, Strong. We are the show.
Well, Rufus, this is a very controversial topic, I realize, and I think we should have a little chat, if you will, about how we both feel.
The first thing that pops in my head would definitely be the Ottomans. The Ottomans lost a lot of land to Russia during the Crimean War. Very intense. I actually had my home video camera there. Unfortunately, the footage was ruined, and I can't show you it. But it was intense. I'll tell you what. Otherwise than that, they began to westernize through the Tanzimat reforms, college, railways, and a Western-type constitution as well.
I think we should start, or rather, yes, we should start with Egypt. That's the one. I am actually 1/16th Cherokee, and if you rearrange the letters in Cherokee and add more letters, you get Egypt, which is our first topic. Now, Egypt really got pawned, I believe is the expression the children are using now, by the British quite badly. The British sort of indirectly controlled Egypt at the beginning, and then there was a rebellion against the standing government in Egypt, and after that, the British had to come in and save them, clearly. And after that, the British just controlled them, which really wasn't fair. They were just their subjects forever, you know? Yeah.
Well, Sudan, you know, along the lines of Western dominance, the Brits coming in just trying to put that muscle on them and overpower them. Not very nice. But the Muslim nomads did a good job fighting back, but overall, you know, the British overcame those dang powerhouses, and Mahdi was just crushed. I actually saw the lead bullet shoot his ear right off, which he then bled to death from. The bandages, they weren't good enough.
Let's continue on with South America, because it was this massive movement with multiple leaders. Now, let's begin South America with Simón Bolívar, or Samson Bolivar, as he's called by some. He freed sort of the northern part of South America, you know, that sort of Ecuador, Colombia. It was called Gran Colombia back then. And then they changed it around, and they made it into Bolivia for him. And some other countries that really aren't important because they don't play a role in history in any way, clearly. But the important thing was that he was able to free that part of South America from the Spanish. And that takes balls. Plain and simple.
See this? I used to inject opiates. You know who else did that? China. They thrived off it. Thrived. And that's what started the Opium War with England. And through that war, those doors were kicked in, I'll tell you what. And it was rough. They were just fiends, and they really needed it. After all the years of trying to push off the westernization, it just happened. The English overcame during this Opium War, and they controlled the Chinese trade and everything going along with it. It's rough, because I've been there. I've been kicked in, too, with all the opium. Muffins, lemon, poppy seed. They really mess you up.
Let's go back to South America just for a second. Bear with me. There was the counterpart to Bolivar, and that was Mr. San Martin. What's his name? Jose San Martin. His daughter actually wrote a book. Yeah, it happened. He actually went up and down the edge of South America and was able to free them from the Spanish that were controlling that area. Now, he actually met Bolivar. That was the story that they tell. Whether it was true or not, I don't know. I don't know. Okay? I'm sorry, I don't know.
Japan, just like the rest of Asia, was just avoiding westernization. But you know what? Conquistador Matthew Perry kicked in their back door. They sure did. And they couldn't hide from it, and westernization just overcame.
To finish up South America, there was what's his name? Dom Pedro the First. He came from Brazil. He actually liberated Brazil from Portugal. He was Prince Regent of Portugal. And basically what happened was the Portuguese government said, you got to come back to Europe to speak in the blah, 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 and it was something stupid that he didn't want to do. He said, no, you know what, I declare independence. I'm staying here. I'm becoming Emperor of Brazil. Great party afterwards. You should have been there. I had fun. It was cake, zebra cakes, from Hostess, or Little Debbie cakes. It was great. Just wonderful.
Well, my cousin's brother's sister's daughter was related to Alexander II. Strangely, odd, yes. Cool, yeah! He was a pretty good guy. He was decent. He realized, everybody's becoming westernized more and more, and might as well just jump on that bandwagon you gots to. Because no matter what, it's gonna kick you in the butt. So he did that. He got rid of serfdom, and he did a lot of stuff like that, a lot of reforms and everything, and as a matter of fact, it didn't do much, because the reactionaries of the Tsars just came back and smacked him in the face.
Let's fix my tie here. One of the most important countries we get to deal with, as far as America is concerned, would be Haiti. The Haitian Revolution, which was led by Toussaint L'Ouverture, as he is called, or Croissant L'Ouverture, as he's called in my hometown. Dialects. He was a slave. Grew up a slave. And he was able to sort of get educated, and he realized what was going on. He was able to jump on the revolt bandwagon, if you will. I like that term. And he was able to start a revolution and kick France out of Haiti. However, when he did that, he rose up into power and went back to France and said, hey, I still want to be, friends. And France didn't really want to do that, because France was at a point in France's relationship where France really didn't want to talk to Haiti anymore, because Haiti had broken France's heart. And then America, who watched Haiti do this, said it didn't like Haiti anymore, because, what if Haiti did the same thing to America that it does to France? Maybe America would have its own problems with its own people. I mean, it was dramatic. Well, Rufus, it's been great. I think we should do this again sometime. It's been very fun. You're a wonderful human being. Well, that's it for this edition of the Channel 83 News. I hope you all learned something, or at least were mildly entertained by our antics. Thank you very much, and good night.